Good morning and assalamu alaikum, girls. Hope you all are doing well, and welcome to our second session of our lesson, A Letter to Adolf Hitler by M.K. Gandhi. So we have already gone through, in the last class we have already gone through many important basics about the chapter. The chapter comes in the last module in your A05 text. We have already seen the difference between Gandhi and Hitler, how both of them represent two extremes of human character. We also went in detail about Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi and how he came to form this non-violent struggle and his stint in South Africa. And also we went in detail about Adolf Hitler, how Hitler was the chancellor of Germany, about his autobiography Mein Kampf, about how he wanted or was influenced by Darwin and Spencer and wanted racial purity, and what led to his death, suicide actually, which led to the end of World War II. Then we went to the significance of Gandhiji's letter, how it is important, or the significance of the letter in the modern era. The growing mistrust between nations, the intolerance to difference, how the letter by Gandhiji is actually a plea or a request to Hitler to stop the war. I also told you that Gandhiji had actually written two letters to Hitler, one in the year 1939 July and the second one in December 1940. So you have to note that the second letter written in December 1940 is the letter that we are studying. And how Gandhiji is asking Hitler to take a stand and to prevent this massive war, and he is also actually providing a solution in which he is asking Hitler to approach an international tribunal for a solution. Okay, so in this class we will be going to the content of the letter. Now what do we have in the content of the letter? Actually, in the content of the letter, it's a very beautiful beginning. Actually, the letter has a very beautiful start. It is something that you should read, actually. So I'll just read out a few lines from the starting. Gandhiji is addressing the letter like this. Dear friend, that I address you as a friend is no formality. I owe no force. My business in life has been for the past 33 years to enlist the friendship of the whole of humanity by befriending mankind, irrespective of race, color, or creed. I hope you will have the time and desire to know how a good portion of humanity who view living under the influence of that doctrine of universal friendship view your action. Okay, so this is the start to our letter, the letter we are studying. So Gandhiji is starting the letter very, in a very amicable way, in a very friendly way. He's saying, dear friend, I address you as my friend because it is not a formality, because I don't have any enemies. And then he's speaking of the occupation of countries like Czechoslovakia, Poland and Denmark by Hitler, what Hitler had done to these countries. So we all know his invasion of Poland was what led to the Second World War. And Gandhiji condemns this act of Germany as immoral and indecent, and says that it is a gross violation of human rights, that no country has the power to, show its power over the other country. Just because you are powerful, it doesn't mean that you can throw the other down. But at the same time, Gandhiji is saying that he does not believe that Hitler is a monster as described by his opponents. Like everyone was saying how Hitler was a very cruel person, was a very barbaric person, Okay, so Gandhi says that he did not believe that Hitler was a monster. And he also says that we have been taught from childhood to abhor such acts of violence, that is to hate these acts of violence. He also tells Hitler in this letter that all the people are equal and people should not be differentiated in the name of race or creed. Okay, So basically, the problem in Germany was that Hitler was differentiating people on the basis of their race and ethnicity. So this kind of discrimination is not right. As we told in the earlier class, Gandhi was an egalitarian. Egalitarian means a person who wanted equality for all, a kind of political, economic, or social equality for all. So he did not believe that there should be any kind of discrimination. So he is telling Hitler that there should be no discrimination. Next, moving on, he is speaking of the situation in India. This is a very important portion here. He is using the line, ours is a unique position. Now, what is meant by ours is a unique position? Ours here meaning India's. India's position is a unique position. So you have to imagine that Gandhiji is writing the letter to Hitler. Now, who is Hitler fighting against? Germany was fighting against America and Britain. America and the United Kingdom. So United Kingdom was the power that was occupying India. So actually, if you think, Gandhi and Hitler, they had the same enemy, that was the British. I hope you get the idea is clear here. And he's saying that we resist British imperialism as well as Nazism, but we won't come together with you. We won't be friends with Germany because we resist Nazism as much as we resist British imperialism. We are against both. But the Indian resistance to British power does not mean harm to the British people. That is another important point that Gandhiji is trying to say. He is saying that we do not wish harm to the British people. That is, though we are against the British, though we are fighting this war for independence against the British imperialism, against the British power there, but still we do not wish harm for the British people. We are trying to convert them, not defeat them. So we are not trying to defeat Britain. We are trying to convert them, to make them understand that this is our country and you should let us be. You should give us freedom. So it was a non-violent means of struggle. It was a kind of a resistance that the Indians were practicing against the British power. Okay, so that is what he means here by ours is a unique position. So basically we always think if we have the same enemy, then that means we can be friends, right? So India and Germany, they had the common enemy, that was the British. So everyone would think they should come together, but Gandhi is saying we resist both Nazism as well as British power. We use an unarmed revolt, that is non-violence and non-cooperation. And this is another beautiful line that Gandhiji is saying, that the rulers have our land and our bodies, but not our souls. That is another important line that Gandhi uses in the letter. It's very powerful actually, right? Because you can have our land, you can have our bodies, you can beat us, you can oppress us, you can do anything you want, but you cannot have our souls. Our Indian souls are strong here, right? So you cannot have the Indian soul. Now Gandhi tells Hitler that the common man in India will rise to heroism. That is, if there is a need to fight for freedom, if there will be a need for the common man to get into the battlefield, they will be willing. Though there may be some who might be frightened and they might back out, they might bend their backs, but still there is a vast majority of common man, normal man, woman and child who are willing to fight for their. So there are many Indians out there who are willing to fight for their country. Now there are also these Indians are willing to lay down their lives for their homeland. Next we have further points about the Indian struggle. He says the Indians have been trying for the past half a century to throw off the British rule. The Britishers have been here for a long time, and the Indians have been trying for a long time for freedom. Now the fight for freedom is very strong now. So Gandhiji is referring to the time, the year 1940. He's saying the fight for freedom is very strong right now. So 1940, we can imagine 1947 India got its independence. So we are very close to our goal. So we are only using the non-violent struggle. But still we would not wish to end the British rule with German help. So though we are in a very unique position, we would not wish to end the British rule with German help. People would think they would, we would seek their help, but we don't want your help. Now, in non-violence, a very important fact that Gandhi says here is that in non-violence, there is no defeat. There is no loser. It is a do or die without killing or hurting. It's a do or die situation. You are not investing anything. It's non-violence. You don't have anything to lose. So there is no defeat for you. It is either you get what you want or you don't get what you want. It does not mean you are defeated. It's a do or die situation. There is no need for money. In non-violent struggle, there is no need for money. A very good plus point. There is no need for science and technology. Another important plus point. Now, as a cosmopolitan, Gandhi believed that administration that relies on military strength and weapons will never last. A cosmopolitan is a person who wants, everyone to be together. A cosmopolitan is a person who wants, the correct dictionary meaning would be including people from many different countries. A cosmopolitan is a person who includes everyone, who wants everyone to be together. So as a cosmopolitan, Gandhi is a cosmopolitan. I am a cosmopolitan. You might be a cosmopolitan. You want people to be together, everyone, in spite of their differences, right? So as a cosmopolitan, Gandhi believed that administration that relies on military strength and weapons will never last. Only the non-violent struggle will last forever. So non-violent struggle is the only struggle that will, succeed in the end. Now finally we have Gandhi giving a message to the despotic rulers, that is the rulers Mussolini and Hitler, right? So Gandhi also speaks about Mussolini in his letter. Mussolini propagated fascism. Fascism and Nazism were both alike. It is just like it was two faces of the same concept. Now Mussolini was also like Hitler. Mussolini was the dictator of Italy, and he was also doing war in many countries with an intention to conquer them. So both Hitler and Mussolini had this thirst or hunger for power. They wanted power, they wanted to be world rulers, right? Now Gandhi here asks both Hitler and Mussolini to pursue the policies of peace. And he says that the vast majority of people do not like wars. It's just people like Hitler and Mussolini who want war and peace, who want to become rulers of the world. And he warns Hitler that he is not leaving a legacy for his people with all this violence and killing. Nothing to be proud of. So actually Gandhiji is giving a very good point here. He is telling Hitler that by doing all this killing and all, you are not making your people proud. You are not leaving a legacy. You are not leaving a history for your people to be proud of. Right? You are not giving your people something to be proud of. You are just making them more miserable. So he warns Hitler that he's not leaving anything for his people to be proud of. He asks them to take their problems to an international tribunal to come to a solution. I told you in the last class what an international tribunal is. It is an international body where you can solve your problems, like the United Nations organization is an example. Now he's asking Hitler and Mussolini to take their problems to this international tribunal. If they have a problem with America, if they have a problem with the British countries, with Britain, then they have to come to a solution, a peaceful solution, not by doing war. Winning the war, he gives a very valid point here, that winning the war will only show that your power of destruction is greater, that you are more powerful, right? If you win the war, it does not mean that you are right. To prove that you are right, you have to prove yourself before an international body or an UNO. Okay, so doing war is not the correct method. He ends the letter by saying that he can hear people in Europe, people in Germany crying for peace. Gandhiji can hear them yearning for peace. Yearning meaning desiring peace. They want peace. So why not give them what they want? Give them peace, because I can hear their cry for peace. People are fed up with war. People want you to end this fight, right? They want you to end this war, so they want to come to a peaceful end. So give them what they want. So give the people peace. So he's also giving this message. He's saying, consider this letter as addressed to Mussolini's Signor Mussolini also, and he should also consider this message and take it into account. So that is all in this chapter. So we have come to the end of letter to Hitler by M.K. Gandhi. So I hope you understood everything, and thank you for your time and patience. Keep smiling. Good morning in a